Okay, so after climbing the stairs, we have finally reached not exactly the first floor of the building, nor the second, but the ground floor of the building. To explain this, we have to get a little bit back to the construction process. They removed a part of the hill on which the building is placed. That ground was relocated in different areas of Bucharest, and a part of the building is replacing that part of the hill. So when you enter, it is actually considered the level -2. And from here, from the ground floor, the building rises 86 meters. And from here, it goes down to minus approximately 60 meters. This area is called the Press Gallery. It has been hosting since after the building was finished press-related events, as well as behind me. This area is usually used for the live television transmissions. Along this gallery, there's also one permanent exhibition behind you, containing paintings which were all made by Romanian artists in the 20th century. The three artworks, which are considered to be the most famous, were made by a painter which was known back in the communist period of our country as one of Nicolae Ceausescu's favorite painters, Sabin Balasha by his name. The first painting made by Sabin Balasha, right in front of us, is called Apotheosis. The one right next to it on the left side, this one is named Fascination. And the last one, which we're about to pass immediately, considered the most famous, is called Message of Peace. Let's continue. Interpretations of those times were actually saying that this, the Message of Peace painting, was actually portraying Nicolae and Elena Ceausescu.
And the dog?
Sorry?
The dog?
Of course, it's a symbol of peace.
The political elements.
Exactly. Was from 91. In the building, it's not far away from here, also in the central part of the city, but they were divided. So there was the Chamber of Deputies in one place, and then there was the Senate in another. And then after the construction was finished, they brought together. Yes.
But the old building is still
it's still present. I think it's also a museum, but I'm not quite sure if you can still visit today. But it was for sure a museum. So it is, even nowadays. So from the Press Gallery, we have entered now the Honor Gallery. This is one of the most important sections of the building. As from here, you can enter the biggest and the most beautiful conference and events halls, as well as in the central part, as we're about to see, there's the main entrance, or the official one in the building, as it was initially designed and as they also use it nowadays. This gallery is 150 meters long and 80 meters wide. It is divided in 3 sections, all of them separated by 4 doors. The doors at the entrances are made of solid oak wood. All the details were handcrafted by the decorators. And I have to mention that for the entire construction, they used a total amount of 900,000 cubic meters of wood, all brought from our country, mostly oak wood. The doors that divide the central part on the opposite side, those ones are also made of solid oak wood and crystal, and they are sliding doors, so they can open manually and fit entirely in the walls. This gallery is also almost entirely dressed in marble. And speaking of this material, for the entire construction, they used a total approximate amount of 1 million cubic meters of marble, all brought from Romania. and there are 5 types of this material which can be found inside the building that were brought from 3 different regions from the western part of Romania. First of all, there's the predominant type, the white one, and then there's a pink one which can be observed above the door. That actually is a really rare type of it. On the floor we can observe the red one, the black one, and last but not least, the beige marble right here. Let's continue. This is Nicolae Iorga Hall. The style that inspired the decoration of this hall is the German Neo-Renaissance style, which had inspired the decoration of another very beautiful place from our country, the Palace Castle, the residence of our first king, Carol I. There were some stories which were saying that this choice wasn't made by chance. They were saying that the Ceausescu family really liked the Palace Castle, as much as they at some point were even planning to move there. But because it was difficult, considering first of all the distance between the castle and Bucharest, approximately 140 kilometers away, they dropped off that plan. But they ordered that one of the halls from the palace to resemble the beauty of the castle. Along the walls of this hall we can observe those wood panels. They're mostly made of oak wood, and inside them there is silk tapestry. The silk wasn't a usual Romanian material, so they brought the silkworm in our country, and they started cultivating and making this fabric, which can also be found in the composition of the curtains right here, which were made in Sighișoara, in the center of Romania. Looking in the central part of the ceiling, we can observe that some of the decorations are covered with gold, the gold also brought from Romania. This hall, along with the others that we're about to see along the gallery, have been used since after the building was finished for hosting congresses, conferences. They can also be rent for private events, but such as organizational or corporate events. They're mostly used for political meetings, and for all these types of events, they have placed the translation booths. As we can observe right here, they're placed on one of the sides. Hall. Right here, the most interesting decorational element is the pink marble, which I told you about, the really rare type of it, which can actually be found in very few places on Earth. 7 countries, among which is also Romania. It can be found all along the walls of this hall. Another beautiful and interesting detail about the decoration of this hall is the matching of the pattern found along the ceiling in the decorational elements with the pattern found on the carpet placed in the center of the hall, and with the pattern found on the masks of the radiators along the walls. And now that I have mentioned the carpets, inside the building we can find a total surface of 220,000 square meters of carpets. They were all made in Romania, in Cisnădia factory. And because the biggest ones, as this one right here, or as the ones we're about to see, because of their size, they could not possibly be brought and placed here entirely. They were brought here piece by piece, and they were stitched by hand right here in the halls. As we will observe in some places, because of the time that has passed and the cleaning process, now the stitches are actually visible. We will best observe the stitches in the central part of the honor gallery which we're about to see now.